It's here. It's finally here. Look at this. Oh man. It's a lot smaller than I anticipated it would be, but Jesus. All right, let's get it out. It's finally here. Okay, so what I'm looking at is the ME 1616 motor. It's I think 30 kilowatts or something like that. But this is my dilemma here. So this is going to be a shaft drive unit, so it'll face this direction, and I need to make this fit on here, make an adapter that will fit on here. But what is the best way to, I guess, make this work the way that I need it to? I suppose I could use the, that goes all the way through. I suppose I could get a bolt that would bolt in here. I might have just answered my own question actually. But yeah, what do you guys think would be the best thing? So it's going to be running a shaft that'll go down to the back wheel. And the only thing I'm really concerned about is shearing this key just with the torque that comes with it. So what do you guys think? So when it comes to prototyping and figuring out like how much space you have to work with, this is kind of one of the templates that I've made in order to figure out the size of the base to actually close this off. So this is going to be usable space where the tank used to be. So this is going to house some of like the 12-volt electrical stuff. It'll house the water pump, unless I decide to put it, over here or something like that. But I really have only one thing pretty much dedicated I know is going to go in there, and that's going to be the chargers. So I'm going to use two 2-kilowatt chargers, and that will all integrate into the battery system. And now to show you, even though we have this huge bar right in the way, this will actually come in handy. So let me show you what I mean. So for some of you purists out there, this is gonna hurt. It actually hurt me quite a bit to cut this tank open like this, but it needed to be done, and I am happy that I did that. So by doing this, it allowed me to figure out exactly how much room I have available just within this space here. And so I knew that I had enough space to put this in the bottom. I knew that I had the ability to basically mount the chargers inside the actual tank. So when I take the tank off the bike, those little charge blocks come with it. So I'm really making good use of the space that I have available, while still allowing myself to use this platform to house some more electronics if I need be. I also drilled the hole through the frame right here so that I can actually run my wires from like these guys here back through the frame, and it actually will pop out here. That way it keeps everything nice and tidy. I'm trying to basically go through all of this as fine-tooth comb as I possibly could in order to, make sure that it looks professional. I don't have wires running everywhere, sticking out, and that leads me to my next tool. So with the 12-volt pump and the 12-volt system you need for the lights and like everything else that runs that side of the bike, I actually have a small little inverter, or I guess a converter. This is, pull this guy out. There we go. This is a DC to DC converter, and it will change the input from 96 volts to the output of 12 volts. So it's basically dumbing down the amount of voltage that I'm receiving, and this is what I'm actually going to use to charge my battery. So I'll have a completely separate 12-volt battery that will go right in the same spot as the original 12-volt battery. However, this is all going to be made of 18650 cells. We're probably going to do something along the lines of like an 8S or maybe a 16S. 16 is the number of batteries that I use, and the S is going to be like the series of what that would be. So like 8 or 16 18650 batteries in series. So we haven't quite gotten to the portion where we're going to start building batteries yet, but this kind of gives us a good idea as to what we're working with. So there's the key switch wiring, some of the headlight wiring, the control wiring, And we're gonna do something pretty unique. So I'm gonna remove this. We're actually gonna get a new bezel or whatever the heck you wanna call this thing. And we're gonna get like a newer style that has like the round lights and stuff in there. So all of those lights will still work. They'll just mean different things. And as far as the speedometer goes, we're gonna chuck that thing out of here. So whoever needs a speedometer, let me know. This has got, 5,000 some odd kilometers on it. So still good, speedometer works and everything. I don't have a cable for it anymore. I actually sold the cables off when I sold the motor. But we're gonna go to a digital display like what you see on like the Harley Davidson LiveWire. And so that will actually allow us to add in the stuff from that little deal right there, send that information up to the speedometer, and I'll actually be able to add some connections in here that will allow me to run like my phone GPS system on my actual speedometer. So that'll come in handy. I can use OnX and actually go to like trail maps and stuff like that and have that right on my speedometer without having my cell phone out in the elements or anything like that. So a couple of good advantages. Now I'm not completely done working within this tank yet. So next thing to go is probably gonna be this little gas valve here. I'm actually gonna put either a J1772 connector port in there for the chargers, or it'll be a different like UK version, which I'll just use an adapter. Only reason why I'd want to use the UK version is just aesthetics. It looks a little better, it's round, it looks more like a gas cap. I'm really just trying to make this look as professional as possible and trying to do things that make sense for me. Now, some people may not care, or they'll want to put the ports somewhere else. That's completely fine. This is how I'm gonna do it. So what kind of questions do you guys have, or what do you want to see out of this project? I'm trying to document this as best as I can, but I'm sure I left something out or how to do something. So if anybody has any suggestions on what they want to see or a different way of doing something, let me know down in the comments below, and look forward to the next one. See you later. With that being said, this is a water-cooled motor. This is essentially the ME 1507 motor, however, is water-cooled.